In a bustling town, where the scent of freshly baked bread mingled with the distant hum of traffic, lived two siblings, Puku and Pyuki. They were raised in the same loving home, shared the same childhood memories, yet their approaches to life were as different as dawn and dusk. Puku, the adventurer of the heart. Puku was a whirlwind of enthusiasm. From a young age, if there was a tree to be climbed, Puku was already halfway up, scraped knees and all. If there was a new, complicated recipe, Puku would dive in, not afraid of a culinary disaster. Puku pursued passions with an almost reckless abandon, driven by an inner spark rather than external validation. After college, while friends secured stable corporate jobs, Puku announced a plan to open a small, artisanal coffee shop. Not just any coffee shop, but one that sourced rare beans directly from small farms and roasted them in-house, focusing on community and connection over profit margins. Are you mad? Their parents worried. It's so risky. What about a steady income? Benefits? Quote. Puku just smiled. Life is a risk, isn't it? I'd rather fail trying something I love than succeed at something that leaves me empty. And fail Puku did, spectacularly. At times, the first two locations fell through. The custom roasting equipment was incredibly expensive. There were months where the income barely covered rent, let alone a salary. Puku spent countless sleepless nights, grappling with self-doubt, financial strain, and the sheer exhaustion of building something from nothing. There were moments of despair, of wanting to give up and apply for that corporate job. But through it all, Puku learned about resilience, learned to pivot, to adapt, to listen to customers, to value community above all else, learned that even the most bitter failures held seeds of invaluable lessons. Puku's coffee shop, the daily grind, eventually found its footing, not because it became a massive chain, but because it became the heart of the neighborhood, a place where stories were shared, ideas bloomed, and every cup of coffee was made with genuine care. Puku was never rich in monetary terms, but incredibly wealthy in spirit, purpose, and connection. Pyuki, the seeker of security. Pyuki, on the other hand, was meticulous, thoughtful, and deeply afraid of uncertainty. While Puku climbed trees, Pyuki carefully read the instructions on how to build a treehouse, ensuring every nail was perfectly placed. Pyuki gravitated towards structure, predictability, and safety nets. After college, Pyuki landed a coveted position at a prestigious financial firm. It was everything Pyuki had worked for. A handsome salary, a corner office, the respect of peers, and the approval of family. Pyuki diligently climbed the corporate ladder, making safe, calculated decisions, avoiding risks at all costs. For years, Pyuki's life looked perfect from the outside. The expensive car, the beautiful apartment, the exotic vacations, but beneath the polished surface, a quiet unease began to stir. The long hours felt less like dedication and more like a gilded cage. The respect felt transactional, based on performance rather than genuine connection. Pyuki was constantly striving, constantly comparing, constantly worried about the next promotion, the next quarterly report. The fear of failure, which had once been a motivator, had become a paralyzing force. Pyuki became hesitant to try new hobbies, afraid of not being good enough. Pyuki avoided deep conversations, afraid of vulnerability. The joy of simply being began to fade, replaced by the relentless pursuit of having and achieving asterisk. Then, one day, the inevitable happened. A massive market shift, a company restructuring. Pyuki, despite years of loyal service and impeccable performance, was laid off. The carefully constructed world of security crumbled overnight. The crossroads and the shared lesson. Devastated and adrift, Pyuki found herself wandering aimlessly until she ended up, almost unconsciously, at the daily grind. Puku, wiping down the counter, looked up and saw a familiar, yet worn, face. They sat and talked for hours, not as the ambitious entrepreneur and the successful executive, but as two human beings at different crossroads. Pyuki, through tears, confessed the hollow feeling that had gnawed at her, the fear that had held her captive, and the crushing weight of her recent loss. I built my life on certainty, Pyuki whispered. And now I have nothing. Puku listened, then gently replied, You have everything, Pyuki. You have a chance to rebuild. This time not from fear, but from what truly makes your heart sing. I've failed more times than I can count. But each time, I learned not just what not to do, but what I really valued. The security I have here isn't in a big bank account, but in the resilience I've built, the community I've fostered, and the genuine joy I find in my craft. Puki looked around the cozy shop, at the smiling faces of the regulars, at Puku's radiant contentment, and a flicker of understanding ignited within. Puki realized that Puku's recklessness wasn't recklessness at all, but courage, and Puki's own security had been an illusion, a fragile construct vulnerable to external forces. Inspired by Puku's example, Puki decided to take a risk, a calculated one this time. Puki volunteered at local community centers, using her organizational and financial skills to help small non-profits. She started a small online business helping local artisans manage their finances. A bridge between her old skills and Puku's world. It wasn't the high-flying corporate life, but it brought a sense of purpose and genuine connection that had been missing. The enduring wisdom. Puku and Puki continued their journeys, side by side yet on their own unique paths. Puku never stopped innovating, sometimes failing, always growing. Puki learned to embrace calculated risks, understanding that true security lay not in avoiding failure, but in cultivating the strength to rise after it. Their lives became a living testament to a profound truth. Life doesn't teach us through a single, perfect lesson. It teaches us through the contrasting experiences of joy and sorrow, success and failure, certainty and uncertainty. It teaches us through the courage to pursue our passions, the resilience to overcome setbacks, and the wisdom to redefine what success truly means for ourselves. And sometimes, the greatest lessons come not from achieving what we thought we wanted, but from losing it all and finding the courage to build anew. Guided by the quiet wisdom of our own hearts.